welcome to part 2 of episode 90 here at Top Rope Reality. As we start up now on our pay-per-view review, WrestleMania. Because WrestleMania 32 will be here before we know it. It's only like 65 days or 60-something days away.
We're on the road to the fast lane to WrestleMania.
And I guess they're starting off pretty good at fast lane. We will see, but I think if everything falls into place, we know who's going to win, who's going to get the pin, who's going to win, what's going to happen. So
yeah, Dean Ambrose is going to get pinned.
And Brock's going to be taken out by
the Wyatt family. Of course. The lights go out, Brock will be gone, and then Roman will be like, oh, okay, I'll win now.
But that's another story for another day. So let's go start about...
Before we start this, did you see the meme on Facebook yet? I love talking about Facebook memes.
He loves them.
Did you see that it's Ronnie Garvin? And it said, I didn't need to cock and load my dadgum arm to knock people out. Talk about Superman punch.
Yeah, the Superman punch, yeah.
I mean, I thought it was funny. So if y'all
funny.
see that,
Hands
you
of
definitely
stone.
need to like it. Yes.
Hands of stone. He never did go.
No, he never had to do that. I mean, really, what does that do?
I don't know.
I mean, unless you're cold, you gotta get some friction going. I don't know.
Well, you gotta believe that. So that makes it so.
I'd rather Bo leave.
It's just
Bo Rider.
It's Bo Rider. Yes.
They're gonna change that man's gimmick now. That was so good.
Well, hey, he rapped pretty well.
He did. He did better than Flo Rida.
I know. Well, let's start about WrestleMania, the beginning, the granddaddy of
The
them all.
first one didn't even have a number attached to it.
If it would have failed, there'd been no WWE.
No Hulkamania. No WWE. No. I mean, I guess Starrcade would have been the top thing.
That's what we had 9 great matches for WrestleMania 1. And we start off with Tito Santana defeating the Executioner via submission in 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
I wonder who the Executioner was.
Who cares? You got
Exactly.
Taco Tito Santana. And this was on March 31st, 1985.
The second match was King Kong Bundy with Jimmy Hart delivering. I see delivering.
He did. He delivered a beating, too.
He delivered a beating to Special Delivery Jones. SD Jones, right?
That's
in
right.
only 24 seconds.
Yes.
I guess SD Jones was one of those top squash names, huh?
And no, he was. I mean, he was fairly okay, but King Kong Bundy was bigger. In size and in
Popularity
character.
yes.
Number third. The third match was
Number 3. What is in our drinks today?
The Dragon Steamboat defeating Matt Bourne.
A.K.A.
Doink the Clown. And Big Josh from WCW with
Oh.
a bear. 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
Oh, Lord.
Let me do this. Come on.
Number 4 was David Sammartino. I think he's on a list of people that were bad second-generation wrestlers.
Yes.
Just like David Flair. Lord, maybe it's the word David.
That could be.
David Sammartino with Bruno versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Future Hall of Famer.
Fame.
Yeah, future Hall of Famer.
With Johnny Valiant. Ended in a double disqualification. 11 minutes and 44 seconds. They gave David some time there.
It did, and it didn't matter. He
didn't matter.
He didn't win, he didn't lose. I mean, he lost.
He became a jobber.
He did. They could never do anything off David. He was never, ever, ever going to be even close to Bruno. Ever. The next match was JYD Junkyard Dog defeating Greg the Hammer Valentine, who was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, but he won by countout in 6 minutes and 55 seconds because WWE would not let black people break the glass ceiling. And this was 1985, so it definitely wasn't going to happen back then.
I wasn't laughing about the black. I was laughing about because that's what. Who said that about? Oh, JTG. There's a glass ceiling that we cannot break it.
It's the black people and the women can never go through the black glass ceiling at the WWE.
Yeah, that's why women have started main event matches. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, number
and
6.
Apollo Crews is going to be a top big hit, so.
He will be.
And
He'll
not
be
just
better
NXT.
than Ahmed Johnson.
He definitely will be.
Be better
And
than
Bobby
Bobby Lashley.
Lashley.
He's the smaller Bobby Lashley, but he'll be better. Number 6 is Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik with Freddie Blassie.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
He's so classy. Pencil Neck Geeks defeated the U.S. Whoa! Computer issue.
Yes.
Defeated the U.S. Express, Mike Rotunda, Barry Windham, the father and the uncle of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, who were the WF Tag Team Champions.
They were.
With Lou Albano in 6 minutes and 56 seconds.
Yeah, Luke can bring in. Luke has many tag team champions under his belt.
That's good.
They always seem to lose.
Oh, what's that?
The next match was Andre the Giant defeating the Big John Studd.
The Big John, the Big Show. You were about to say Big
John
Show.
Yeah, the son of Andre the Giant. He defeating Big John Studd with Bobby Heenan, which he needed, in the Body Slam Challenge for $15,000. Had Andre lost, he would have been forced to retire, which we know didn't ever happen.
Not beat myself up. There was a fly.
In 5 minutes and 54 seconds, he took the money and threw it out. Bobby grabbed the bag and the WWE gym bag, of course.
Of course, you got to promote your stuff.
And then
right?
Bobby flew on the top rope with the rest of the money
I like it.
and got away.
Number 8, Wendy Richter with Cyndi Lauper defeated Leilani Kai with Fabulous Moolah, who was your WF Women's Champion. So now Wendy Richter is the new champion in 6 minutes and 12 seconds. I gave him a pretty decent amount of time.
Yeah,
6 minutes.
That's pretty good for women. And in the main event was a huge tag team match. It had stars. It had referees who were champions in other boxing and music and baseball, and it's just
You had
all
Muhammad Ali up in
Yes.
You had Liberace.
Liberace, yes.
That's some other people.
Billy Martin, yes.
Yeah, whoever that is.
That's a baseball guy.
Sure.
But it was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, the guy who loves his mom. With the killer Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Oh, too
sorry.
soon. Too soon.
Is it too soon? Is it really too
He
soon?
ain't even gone to jail yet. It's too soon.
He's going to die.
I mean, it wasn't like 1985.
He's going to die of old age and never go to jail. He won't be house arrested.
I mean,
jeez.
It was in 1985, but it's too soon.
Yes. They defeated Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff with Bob Orton in 13 minutes and 24 seconds. Which is almost 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's 1, 3, 2, 4. So
that's different.
That's so close. And let's see. Career's over. Loves his mama. Killer. Dead. Oh.
He had cancer, so he's pretty much done.
Paul
I mean,
Orndorff,
he's
looking
pretty much
rough.
at the house, just chilling
And Bob Orton
with his hepatitis.
Yes.
Very sad.
And now we're going to WrestleMania 2, which was at 3 different locations.
3 locations.
A first for WrestleMania.
And only. I think they only did it one time.
because this is a pain in the butt.
But it would be interesting if they tried it again.
It would be interesting.
They would get mega money from it because you'd get 3 stadiums with lots of people in it.
You'd have to go small stadiums instead of trying to do 2 arenas. Could you imagine 3 different Georgia Domes? Or a Georgia Dome, Orlando, and Texas? You could never. There'd be a lot of empty seats.
Probably, yeah.
But this was at the
Because
Nassau
you only
Coliseum.
got like 4 matches per show.
This was at the Rosemont Horizon for television. And this was at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena.
Yeah, because at your own event you only get 4, and then these people that watched the first 4 had to sit there and watch a screen for the other ones. So I mean, it's probably not that fun. But
No.
the first match was Paul Orndorff and Magnificent Morocco.
This was April 7th, 1986.
Yes, I did. The Rock, Don Morocco, the Magnificent Morocco, with Mr. Fuji, fought to a double count out. 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Up next was for the Intercontinental Championship. It lasted 5 minutes and 10 seconds as your champion, Macho Man Randy Savage, with Mrs. Elizabeth, the lovely Miss Elizabeth,
The first lady of wrestling.
defeated George Animal Steel, who loved the lovely Miss Elizabeth.
He did. And his doll. He had a plush doll, didn't he?
He did.
Stuffed out.
Fame, whatever. it
Number
was called.
3, Jake the Snake Roberts defeated who in the world? George Wells. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. That's almost making me want to sneeze. I don't even know who that is right now. I have to sneeze. Yes. The only reason you can win in the DDT is slap him in the back.
He slapped him in the back and beat George Wells face right to the mat there.
Woo!
And the fourth
Upstairs.
match at the Rosemont, at the Nassau Coliseum. The fourth match, the main event, I guess, would be is a boxing match. Oh, look out, boxing, folks.
Almost didn't happen because they hate each other that bad.
It was 13 minutes and 14 seconds. As you had Mr. T with Joe Frazier and the Haiti Kid defeating Roddy Piper with Bob Orton and Lou Duvall by DQ.
This is a boxing guy.
It is a boxing guy, yes. Just like Joe Frazier, a boxing guy.
Well, I knew that part.
Yes.
Your results from the Rosemont Horizon. Your 5th match. The Fabulous Moolah, who was your women's champion. They gave him no time. Wow. Defeated Velvet McIntyre to retain her belt in 1 minute, 25 seconds. Not like the year
That was real
before.
quick, no. Next up, number 6 was Corporal Kirshner defeating Nikolai Volkov with Classy Freddie Blassie in a flag match.
No time at all.
2 minutes and 5 seconds. He must have beat the crap and grabbed the flag. And
Rosemont Horizon, I would have asked for my money back. Like, this is hot! The 7th match was Andre the Giant defeating 19 other participants, but at last eliminating Bret Hart in a WWF versus NFL 20-man Battle Royale in 9 minutes and 13 seconds, and that is the only reason that William Refrigerator Perry went in the Hall of Fame. I was in that Battle Royale!
And they couldn't even get even 10 minutes. That's 2 minutes.
For 20 men, that's
That is
pretty
pretty
bad.
bad, yes. Up next was, it was for the WWF Tag Team Championships. So they had 2 title matches. It lasted 13 minutes and 3
Can't really
seconds.
count the women's titles of 1 minute.
Well, this one lasted 13 minutes and 3 seconds. As it was the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid with Ozzy Osbourne,
Very
and
weird.
Captain Lou Albano in the corner, defeating
What's the connection with Ozzy
Dream
Osbourne,
Team. They love Ozzy. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, who were the champions, with Luscious Johnny V at ringside, as the Day-Boy and Dynamite became tag team champions.
That second venue was not good at all.
No,
The first one was pretty decent.
except for George Wells.
Well, George was, yeah, he was kind of random.
But you know,
It happens. Results from the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena. That probably is not there anymore. I don't know if any of these are still there.
I think they're not.
The ninth match is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat
I
defeating...
think that's a Coliseum.
There you go.
I don't think it
These
is.
were smaller venues, right?
I think so, yes.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated Hercules Hernandez in 7 minutes and 27 seconds.
In the next match, Adrian Adonis with Jimmy Hart
Oh,
defeating
my
Uncle
word.
Elmer in 3 minutes and 1 second.
This is getting worse. I would have just been like, okay, Nassau Coliseum, and I'm going home. Lordy B. Number 11, Terry Funk and Hoss Funk, which was...
Funk Brothers.
That was actually Dory Funk Jr., wasn't it not? Hoss? Because Jimmy Jack was the one with
The weird match, yeah.
the weird mask. So Haas was daggum Dory Funk Jr. Well, you can't call a man Dory Funk Jr. That's what's so weird. With Jimmy Hart defeating Junkyard Dog and Tito Santana, that is very random.
It is.
Very random. In 11 minutes and 42 seconds.
Instead of grab them cakes, it was grab them tacos. Okay.
There you go.
And in the main event, with the big blue steel cage.
Of course.
With the big holes like this, you can stick somebody's head right through.
You could.
It was for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship with Robert Conrad, the actor who had the battery, said not the battery for his shoulder, was the
who that
special guest
is.
referee. It lasted 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Your challenger was King Kong Bundy with Bobby Heenan, and your champion was Hulk Hogan. And Hogan got out of the cage to retain his championship at WrestleMania 2. So far, Hogan has been 2-0 in victories.
Of
at
course he
WrestleMania.
has. And next we have a WrestleMania 3 that happened March the 29th, 1987. Still to this day, biggest WrestleMania of all time. Until Dallas.
We'll see.
If they could fill 100,000. They'll probably lie about the number anyway. How can we honestly fact check that? Can we go and say, hey, can you give us the rundown of the numbers and break it down for us? No. So if they lie, they lie. We won't even know it. But the first match was
I'm going
the...
to see.
What?
Give yourself a standing ovation as we have broken inside a tennis record of 101,000. You know,
Like, yeah, they lied.
liars.
The Can-Am Connection, Rick Martel and Tom Zink,
Z-Man.
the Z-Man, defeated Bob Orton and the Magnificent Marauders. They teamed up a little while, didn't they?
They did.
With Mr. Fuji in 5 minutes and 37
Another
seconds.
manager, which we need some more managers.
But kind of an interesting Can-Am Connection thing. That's kind of weird. Rick Martel and Tito Santana were better. Isn't that who it was?
Yes, it was.
That was the Strike
Strike
Force.
Force, yes.
They were better.
Or Canadian-American connection, get it? Can-Am.
Still not a good tag team. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan.
Not a fan.
It's all right, hey, got butts and seats.
Rick Martel was better as a singles guy anyway.
That's the model.
As the model. And he was an AWA World Heavyweight Champion.
He was. Very good.
You're welcome. I wasn't even alive then, but I know this thing.
Up next was a
Very bitter man.
full Nelson.
Very
the
bitter
full
man.
Nelson challenge, pretty much, because each had the full Nelson. Billy Jerk Haynes, as Bobby Heenan would call him, but Billy Jack Haynes, and taking on Hercules Hernandez with Bobby Heenan as the manager. It ended in a double count out in 7 minutes and 44 seconds because Billy Jerk locked in the full Nelson and they went out of the ring with it locked in. And he locked it in outside and they both got counted out.
That's weird. So you got a bitter man and a dead man. That's pretty sad.
That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. The third match was Hillbilly Jim, Haiti Kid, and the Little Beaver, which is kind of a weird thing to be called.
What's an Indian?
I'm just saying.
He's a weird little engine.
You're thinking of that movie with Adam Sandler, aren't you? Ha!
He was.
But I'm just thinking when you say beaver, what comes to mind? I'm just like,
It was an Indian name.
not in my mind, it's not.
Like Krusty River, you have to know.
Oh,
He
goodness.
who had pine cone for hair. I don't know, you know.
That was the
Little
full.
Beaver.
That was his full name. He who had pine cone for hair. They defeated.
I mean, Little Beaver more like a girl's name for an Indian.
It
I would
would
say.
be. It would be. It would be an imitation.
Yes, Little Moose would be better. You know. But it was Little
Oh, if
Beaver.
Moose ever comes to me, that's what's going to happen. They're going to have a dead midget come out with him. Little Moose! Anyway, defeated King Kong Bundy, Little Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook. Those are midget names.
Yes.
Those are normal midget names, not Little Beaver. And they won by DQ in a mixed tag. It's not really mixed tag. They're not women. 3 minutes and 25 seconds, and they all...
It's not gender either. It's mixed, tall and small. I don't know.
Oh, it's so stupid. But they all ended up beating the crap out of Hillbilly, not Hillbilly, he's a good guy, out of King Kong Bundy at the end of the match.
Yeah, because he squashed Little Beaver.
Oh.
He dropped his big fat elbow on the Little Beaver and squished it. So.
I bet he did drop an elbow on that beaver.
Up next was a loser must bow match.
Oh, that's weird.
And it was between the King, Harley
At least they
Race,
didn't kiss each other's feet.
with Bobby Heenan and the Fabulous Moolah. And
That was good for her.
Junkyard
That was
Dog.
good for her.
It was good for something to do. And your winner of the match was the Harley Race, the King of the WWF. In 4 minutes and 22 seconds,
Short matches.
Junkyard Dog, he did bow, but then he hit Harley Race with a chair.
Yes, he got his revenge. The fifth match was the Dream Team. Greg Valentine and Brutus Barber Beefcake with Johnny V and Dino Bravo defeated the Rougeau brothers. I can't ever say it right. Rougeau. I never say it right. Rougeau brothers, Jacques and Ramon. I always like to say Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
Exactly. You got it. Look at you. 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Why are all of these matches so
Because
short?
there's like 12 of them, and then go through. But that
and
was
a bunch of probably backstage interviews.
And that was, no, not really. This is not this day and time. They
Really?
were quick backstage. Didn't like they take 30 minutes of the show. But this was the last time the Dream Team teamed because they left poor Brutus in the ring.
and this was the very next thing.
This is when they left poor Brutus in the ring.
And the very next thing, he had his moment.
The next match was a hair versus hair. It was Piper, win, lose, or draw. He's out of here.
Retired, I'm done.
It was
For the
Roddy
first
Piper
time.
taking on Adrian Adonis.
The first time.
Yes, with Jimmy Hart. The match lasted 6 minutes and 33 seconds as Roddy Piper cut the hair of Adrian Adonis and then left the WWE for a few little short time.
He's not the only one that cut the
39
hair. He's not the only one that cut the hair.
Yes.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake
Yes.
came out, cut the hair. And that's where, I believe that was the creation of Brutus the Barber
was.
Beefcake, correct?
It was.
That was the start of that.
Piper
And
going out.
then Greg
cut hair.
Valentine got a new part. It was Dino Bravo, right?
It was.
The new Dream Team.
That's it.
You're welcome.
Well, luscious Johnny V.
Unless it's Johnny V. Exactly. Who was a good wrestler in his own right, correct? There you
The
go.
Valiant Brothers.
The Valiant Brothers.
Johnny and Jimmy.
As in what's his name? The one from NWA. What's it? He be dancing around? He's still around too. He's old.
Yeah, I think they're brothers. Yeah.
What?
I know you don't know.
Give me the name.
Boogie Woogie Man.
Boogie Woogie Man. Isn't that
Jimmy
Valiant?
Valiant. Yes.
They're the same name? That's
Yes.
That's his brother?
I guess so.
Very interesting. He's still around.
He's
oh my
still
God.
around.
He was at the WrestleCade. He was in the Battle Royal. He wrestled in the Battle Royal.
80.
I'm telling you right now. They probably picked him up and put him over the apron. He wouldn't hurt
If he
himself.
falls down, he'll break dust. So.
All right, number 7, the Hart
7,
Foundation, Brett and Jim Neidhart, and Dangerous Danny Davis, not the guy from OVW.
Not the
With
Nightmare
Jimmy
from Continental.
Exactly. This is the referee. With Jimmy Hart defeated the British Bulldogs, and Tito said he just gets him put in random situations, don't he?
Yes.
6-man tag, 8 minutes and 52 seconds.
Well, I kind of figured because Danny cost the Hearts. I mean,
Okay.
Danny cost the Bulldogs against the Hearts,
Right.
and Danny also has cost Tito Santana. So,
That's how they put it together.
so you get back at the referee, the dirty referee, who was a
dirty
referee.
referee.
Who was suspended forever, and then he got back being a referee again.
When everybody forgot about
When
it.
storyline was done with, he was back being referee.
There you go. When everybody forgot about it, they put him back in there.
The next match was Butch Reed with Slick defeating Coco Beware, Hall of Famer Coco Beware, in 3 minutes 39 seconds.
The natural.
If you watch that match, you can tell that Slick's golden tux was already tearing away before Coco got his hands on it.
Really?
Yes, the back was already kind of split.
Oh, it was split open
Yeah, 'cause he was
already?
supposed to get a hold of it and just strip it all off.
That's
of it.
funny. He was moving too much then.
He was.
So the natural Butch Reed Nobody ever did well with that nickname. The Natural Dustin Rhodes, Natural Butchery, just don't. And then he was Hacksaw Butchery. Quit taking people's nicknames. Anyway, number 9, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with George the Animal Steel defeated Randy the Macho Man Savage with Miss Elizabeth to gain the WWF Intercontinental Championship in 14 minutes, the longest match of the night, and rightfully so.
Yes.
As they said, still to this day, is probably the top 5 greatest matches of wrestling history. 14 minutes and 35 seconds. That one match right there inspired a generation of wrestlers.
It did. But going back to Butch Reed, he really wasn't nothing big until he became part of Doom with Ron Simmons.
Which is bad when you become big in WCW.
That is true.
When you leave the WWF and become big in WCW. That's not good.
Up next, the 10th match, we had to slow it down a little bit. We had the Honky Tonk Man with Colonel Jimmy Hart defeating Jake Roberts with Alice Cooper in 7 minutes and 4 seconds. I know.
The Ozzy Osbourne thing didn't make sense. Alice Cooper makes sense.
So.
I'm just saying, why does Ozzy Osbourne go? I mean, I guess because he's British, goes with the British Bulldogs. But it's just the whole, his look goes with Jake Roberts, not with the British Bulldogs. But anyway. Number 11, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov with Slick defeated the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, Triple B. They never did that. They never called him Triple B. And Jim Bronzell.
Jumping
Jim Bronzell, who was also a tag team partner with Greg Gagne. You're welcome.
Thank you.
By disqualification in 5 minutes and 44 seconds.
And in the main event, the 12th match on the card.
12.
The biggest match, they were saying. It was Hulk Hogan, the champion, taking on Andre the Giant, who was 15 years undefeated.
I'd really like to see that, though. I'd like to see how in the world he was undefeated everywhere.
Went on about Royals and small people. When you wrestle 4 or 5 times a year, it don't take long to be 15 years. But Hulk Hogan, who slammed Andre. No one's never slammed, which is a lie. They had slammed him before.
Harley Race did it.
Hogan did
And
it
I think
before.
a Japanese guy did it, too.
Yeah.
But I guess they're saying the first time in the WWE, but they didn't say that.
Hogan slammed Andre, which had the terrible face, and dropped the leg to retain his title in 12 minutes and 1 second.
But I'll give you the reason why they said the first time it ever happened. Because I'll go with what Jerry Lawler said. I was watching it on YouTube. This is what Jerry Lawler said to Morrow, whatever his name is, the new guy.
Yes.
He was talking about all the accolades of AJ Styles when AJ debuted on SmackDown. All the accolades. And Jerry Lawler said, I've won more championships than anybody in the history of this sport. But I didn't do the WWE. If it didn't happen in the WWE, it didn't happen.
Oh, I thought that line was being fed by Vince McMahon. Sounds like.
To make himself sound better, yes. Make WWE sound better. But I mean, that's kind of how he looks at it.
That's what they used to do.
That's the WWE universe. We're in our own universe. We don't believe in anything else.
There ain't nobody else around.
So that's why they can say it's the first time it's ever happened was right here, and they can get away with it because that's the way they look at things. But we have WrestleMania 4.
WrestleMania 4 with Atlantic City.
March the 27th of 1988. I still wasn't live yet.
Home of Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
They were in Trump Casino.
Trump Plaza. Is that what it's
Yes.
called? Yes. Your first match was Bad News Brown, winning a 20-man battle royal. And it's like deja vu because Andre won a 20-man battle royal, last eliminating Bret Hart. And now Bad News Brown last eliminates Bret the Hitman Hart.
But
10
Bret
minutes and 40 seconds.
went from being heel to face because they were shaking hands, and then Bad News turned on Bret and threw him out, and Bret come back and broke the trophy and become a face.
Ah.
Up next was Ted DiBiase. This was a tournament match because we were fighting for the championship. This was the first round tournament match. It lasted 4 minutes and 54 seconds as Ted DiBiase with Virgil and Andre the Giant defeated Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
As he should.
Yeah.
The third match was Don the Rock Morocco with Superstar Billy Graham. What a bitter man. Bitter man! Defeated Dino Bravo with Frenchie Martin by disqualification in a first round tournament match. 4 minutes and 53 seconds. 1 second less than the first one. That's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird, isn't it? Up next was Greg the Hammer Valentine with Jimmy Hart defeating Ricky Steamboat with the Little Dragon, who is still on the shelf now and may never wrestle ever again.
Was it a legit dragon?
That was his son, Little Dragon.
Oh, Little Dragon was his son.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ricky,
okay.
the little Ricky Steamboat. Jr.
I was, he used to come out with an
Yes,
actual
he
comeback
came.
dragon.
Yes, no, this was his son, the baby.
Yes,
And
that's,
it was a first round.
Richie Steamboat.
It was a first round tournament match, and that's at 9 minutes and 12 seconds.
They love giving a lot of time to Ricky Steamboat.
And he should have advanced, not Greg.
Duh. My gosh. The fifth match was Randy the Macho Man Savage with Miss Elizabeth defeating Butch Reed with Slick in a first round tournament match in 5 minutes and 7 seconds.
Up next was the one-man gang with Slick. Boom!
So he just literally just stood out there.
Defeating Bam Bam Bigelow and Oliver Humperdinck by countout in 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
So neither man looked bad, is what the idea was going into that.
Oh, that's pretty bad for Bam Bam to lose.
Well, of course it is, but they were both big dudes, so that's why they do a count out, so neither one of them looked like weak or anything.
Yes.
The seventh match, you had Rick Rude with Bobby Heenan taking on Jake Roberts in a time limit draw. Took 15 minutes, and there was neither one a winner.
Neither one a winner, that sucks.
But that's good though. I mean, because they had a feud going anyway.
But at the time, but look at the tournament though. I mean,
well, the tournament kind of sucked.
It did. Then we had just a regular match to break up the tournament, as it was the Ultimate Warrior defeating Hercules with Bobby Heenan in 4 minutes and 29 seconds. And now we're back to the quarterfinal tournament matches of the tournament to claim a new WWE champion.
Number 9, Hulk Hogan taking on Andre the Giant with Teddy DiBiase and Virgil, ended in a double disqualification in a quarterfinal tournament match, 5 minutes and 22 seconds.
Up next, you had Teddy DiBiase defeating Don the Rock Moronkowitz, Superstar Billy Graham, in a quarterfinal tournament match in 5 minutes and 44 seconds.
Number 11, you had Randy the Macho Man Savage with Miss Elizabeth defeating Greg the Hammer Valentine with Jimmy Hart in a quarterfinal tournament match, 6 minutes and 6 seconds. See, if Ricky Steamboat would have advanced, we would have had a rematch from the year before. That would have been better.
Would have been better. And then and then up next was the Intercontinental title match. It lasted 6 minutes and 30 seconds as your champion, the Honky Tonk Man, was defeated by Brutus Beefcake by disqualification.
Thank goodness.
Like I said, in 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
And he was with Jimmy Hart and Peggy Sue.
Who was Peggy Sue?
Sherry Marte.
And I think...
But Jimmy Hart dressed up as a woman too, right? What was his name? I think he did.
But the limo driver was DDP, though.
That is true that year. But I do believe that Jimmy Hart at one point dressed up as a woman. Then, of course, Harvey Wilhelm did it too, right?
Yeah, Harvey did.
I think Jimmy did it at least one time.
Wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying it ain't happening. I just don't remember it.
Number 13, the
Hell, Ronnie
Islanders.
Garvin dressed up as a woman and kissed Jimmy Fallon. So
there you go. Number 13, the Islanders, Haku and Tama. And Bobby the Brain Heenan defeated the British Bulldogs, David Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid, and Kaka. Big wow. 6 minutes. 6-man tag match in 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Up next is your semi-final tournament match, as it was Randy Savage defeating the one-man gang with Slick by DQ in 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
All right. Number 15, Demolition, Axe and Smash with Mr. Fuji defeated Strike Force. Rick Martel and Tito Santana. See, I thought Strike Force came first. Can-Am came first, and then Strike Force. See,
and that was the beginning of the end.
For who?
Strike Force.
Oh, right here was?
Yep.
When they lost the
belts.
belts?
Lost the titles. That was it. Yeah.
12 minutes and 33 seconds. A long match for them, though.
It was a long match. And the main event to fill the vacant WWF Championship. You had Teddy DiBiase, who gained a bye into the final because of Hogan and Andre double DQ. So once he won, he was in the finals. He would take on Randy Macho Man Savage.
Saying because he didn't have to do a semifinal match, is what you're saying.
Right.
Because he did the quarterfinal beating Tom Ryan.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And Hogan, then he faced the Hogan Andre winner.
But I thought they did this whole thing. I know I'm going off script here a little bit.
I know, but that's how he got in there.
But I thought they did a whole thing where Andre won the belt for him and he bought the belt from Andre.
Yeah, that's one of the tournaments.
That's why the tournament happened.
Because this was the main event. Andre got his rematch at the main event, one of the biggest rating shows.
It was like an NBC special?
Right. It wasn't a Saturday night's main event, it was called the main event. It was on Friday night.
Oh.
And hey, yes, that was the two referees, the two Hefners.
The two Hefners got
he won the belt and then gave it to Ted, and then Jack Tunney took it off Ted, and we had the tournament.
Oh. And then it looks like we're going to get screwed over again and have Ted DiBiase the champion anyway,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So there you go.
But Randy Savage, with help from Hulk Hogan in a chair, defeated Ted DiBiase with Andre the Giant in his corner to become the new WWF World Heavyweight Champion until jealousy
Yes, because
showed his ugly head.
isn't it the same match right here that Hogan took Miss Elizabeth and ran off with her?
No,
I thought she got knocked out here.
that was later on. That's when we're building toward WrestleMania 5.
Gotcha. But the seeds were starting here because he came out
That's
to
because
help
on the Saturday Night's
Savage.
main event, Hogan, one of the Ted or somebody got knocked over. Oh, well, no, it was Akeem and Big Boss Man. One of them got knocked over and knocked out Elizabeth. Hogan picked up Elizabeth and ran off with her, which left Savage by himself.
Right.
And when Hogan come back, after Elizabeth's going, go help Randy, go help Randy. He run back out there. He went to get a tag. Savage tagged him and slapped him and jumped out of the ring.
Nice.
But they don't do that anymore.
Of course not. No
here.
storylines.
No storylines.
It's just, hey, I'm going to beat you, and then next week you're going to beat me, and the next week
And that's
I'm
when
gonna
he
beat you,
turned on
and the next
Hogan.
week
That's
I'm
when
gonna
Hogan went back out to see check on Elizabeth, saying, "What's wrong with Randy?" Randy come in the ER, hit Hogan with the belt, went crazy. People, Pat Patterson's all in there trying to break them all up and everything.
Right.
Hogan's like, "Oh man!" And then here we go. We got the main event set for WrestleMania 5.
Just so Hogan can win the
The
belt.
Mega Powers explode.
Just so Hogan can get the belt back.
So Hogan get the belt back. Yes.
So sad.
But
But
it walked down history lane.
Right, exactly.
But when
That's-
storylines mattered, and
That's-
it brought you in.
It did. That's when. That's why we got you here, because I don't remember all this
Thank
stuff.
you.
Because I was alive.
But guess what? You can watch every bit of it that I told you on the network for just $9.99. So, see? You can watch the main event. You can watch the one for WrestleMania. You can watch WrestleMania 5. I mean, you could just, it's all right there.
Exactly.
But that is it for part 2 as we are starting now doing our WrestleMania
Going the wrong
talks. I know, I just went to do that way. But up next in part 3, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about
We're
that.
going to talk about that.
So you got to come right here to part 3 to find out what we're going to talk about.
What are we going to talk about?
It's interesting.
It will be very interesting. It'll be quite a topic.
It will be. So come on back to part 3 of Top Rope Reality. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a guy.
We'll see you in a few clicks. Clickety click click.
Click, 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 click.